Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my quarterly empties, purchases and I think it's low buy update. I don't really know what I'm calling that usually, but I'm here with the third quarter of the year's update, and I'm just gonna go through everything I bought this month, the things I've decluttered, and also the things that I've used up. And I'm also gonna kind of go through my low buy because in my last update I did change up my rules a little bit. But before we jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just start going through the things that I used up. So majority of the things that I've used up this month are non-makeup items, so I'm just gonna go through them first. The first item is something that I always have in here. This is my Batiste dry shampoo. This one is a Scent Cherry. I do really love this scent, but I go through this really fast. I have another one that I'm really close to using up as well, and this is my go-to dry shampoo, and it's basically the only one that I use. I talked about this loads in the past, so I'm not gonna dwell on too much about it now, but I have used up one of these over the last month. So while on hair stuff, I have used up two different full-size hair masks. This one is the Garnier Ultimate Blends Moisturizing Hair Food Aloe Vera and Coconut Mask. Very long name. I have used this up completely. I did like it, but it wasn't my favorite, and I'm currently trying to go sulfate and silicone free, and I don't think this is completely silicone and sulfate free, although it does say it's no silicones in here, so I'm not sure. I need to look that up completely if this is kind of curly girl method approved. But I don't think I would repurchase this anyway because, like I said, it's not my absolute favorite, and I have tried other masks that I like more than this. So I have used this up, and I'm happy to have another hair mask out of my collection. The other one I have is the Aussie 3-Minute Miracles. This is a very well-known hair mask. I used this up early this month. I stopped using this when I tried to go silicone free, but I did use this when I dyed my hair last because I mixed this in with my was it with my toner, I think, because basically if you don't know about toning hair, my developer is only a third of a developer, so I need to mix it with a conditioner to kind of dilute it, and I use this to mix that. So that's how I use this up, and the only reason why I did that is because I didn't want to use these silicones in my hair anymore, and also it's not the absolute greatest mask, although it does make your hair feel really soft, but again, that is the silicone. So I'm happy to have moved this out of my collection, and I don't think I will repurchase this at this moment in time. I also have this kind of sample hair mask. This is the Phyto Mask Exception, I think it's called Exceptional Mask. It says in English down here, should have said that instead. But I used this one up. I have like a massive box of kind of sample hair masks that I'm trying to go through, and this is one that I used up. I honestly can't really remember how this was, so I mean it wasn't kind of exceptional because yeah, I can't remember it. So despite the name, it's not something that I will pick up again, and I'm just happy to have another sample out of my collection. The last hair product that I have is the Got To Be Volumizing Hairspray. This is my go-to hairspray, and my boyfriend likes stealing this one too. I love the scent of this, and it's a very good hairspray, and I always repurchase this. I have another one on the go currently, and yeah, it's just kind of the go-to hairspray that I use. I don't use hairspray too often, but when I do, it's always this one. So I think I said that was the last hair care item, but I actually remember I have this one too. This is toning shampoo, so a purple shampoo that I use for my blonde hair. This is the Charles Worthington Toning Ultraviolet Shampoo. I do really like this one, and I actually just realized now that it says free from sulfates. I didn't know that, so maybe I will pick this up again. Because I am trying, like I said, to go sulfate free with my shampoos, and I didn't know this was sulfate free, which is awesome. I just realized that now. So I was gonna say that this is an amazing purple shampoo. It really does tone your hair, and I feel like with a lot of purple shampoos I kind of used to have to leave them on for a really long time for them even to do anything. If I do that with this, I basically get purple hair, so I used to use this as a regular purple shampoo, and it does really tone it. So knowing now that this is sulfate free, I will have to do so much more research into it, but if that is true, I might actually purchase this again because it is the best purple shampoo that I ever tried. So let's move on to skincare items. The next item I have is the Biore UV SPF 50++++. This is the Aqua Rich version. This is the Korean SPF. I really like this one. It's quite a thin formula that dries down quite quickly. Let's see if I can get something out of this bottle. It is quite empty, so I'm not sure if that will happen. I managed to get a little bit out there, as you can see, and I'm hoping you can see when I rub this in, it kind of disappears really fast, and it spreads very nicely as well. And it's just probably the best SPF that I've tried. It doesn't sting your eyes or anything. It's really nice under makeup, and I do already have, I think, 3 backups of this product. I buy it from Jestyle because it is a Korean brand, and it's probably the best, like I said, SPF that I've tried, so I definitely recommend that one if you're looking for kind of like a light SPF that is easy to use under makeup and isn't too heavy, and it definitely doesn't give a white cast either. So while we're on Korean skincare, let's go through this one too. This is the Hada Labo Gukunjon Premium Essence, I think it's called. This is a hyaluronic acid serum, and it's probably the best one that I've tried. It's quite a kind of thick serum. You can use it as an essence, but since it is a bit thicker, I can use it more between my essence and my serums. It does sink in very fast, even though the formula is a bit thicker. And yeah, it's just a really good one. I already have another one of these on the go, and this is my go-to kind of moisturizing step when it comes to hyaluronic acid. So I definitely recommend this one if you are on the hunt for a hyaluronic acid serum. It's definitely miles better than the ordinary one, and in this one you get a massive amount, and I don't think it's too expensive either. Again, you can pick this up on Jestyle, and I'm not sure where else you can pick it up, but that's where I get mine from. The next item I have is this one right here. This is actually my tretinoin serum. I had this on prescription, or I used to. I'm trying to go through them because I have a few bottles left that I still have since I had the prescription. This is probably the #1 thing that has changed my skin completely. If you don't know what tretinoin is, it's a retin A serum. So it's basically a high level of vitamin A, and what it does is kind of helps your skin renew itself. So you have to be quite cautious with how you use it. You have to use a tiny amount, and you can use it like every 2 days. I try to, now I'm trying to build myself up to using it every day, but when you use it too often, it does make your skin very dry, because like I said, what it does, it makes your skin kind of renew itself faster, and it makes your skin kind of flake off a little bit sometimes if you're not cautious. But I have built myself up to using this quite often now, and it has definitely helped my skin. It has helped my texture so much. It's probably the #1 thing against anti-aging as well. Obviously I'm quite young still, and I haven't used it for long enough to vouch for that yet, but if you do your research, you will find loads of information about this, and like I said, it's probably the #1 thing that has changed my skin. I know now you can get different in the US over the counter, and it's similar to tretinoin, that it works in the same way. It's also vitamin A, and I definitely recommend you to try that out if you have problems with kind of a texture, or if you're getting older and you want something to anti-aging, and things like that. If you're in Europe like I am, you unfortunately do have to get this on prescription, which sucks, but I definitely recommend you to get that if you can. And the only thing to note about this is that you need to use SPF with it, because since it does renew your skin kind of faster, your skin becomes more sensitive. But it is an amazing product, and I definitely recommend it if you can get your hands on it. I have 2 more skincare items. I have the Revolution CBD oil. This is just like a facial oil. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. I would probably repurchase this again, but right now I am looking for something different. I just want to find kind of a holy grail face oil, and this isn't it. It is moisturizing, it's good, but it isn't the absolute best. Then the next product I have is the Heimish All Clean Balm. This is a makeup remover balm that I really enjoy. This is again from Jestyle. I have picked up quite a lot of Korean makeup items. I have picked up quite a lot of Korean and skincare items, and that is where I picked this up as well. It is really good, and although it isn't the best makeup remover that I've tried, if you use massage with your skin a bit, then it does remove even waterproof makeup, because I do use waterproof mascara every day, and that is the hardest for me to remove. But it does work to remove it with this, but you have to kind of work it in a bit longer, but I don't mind that. And for the price, this is unbeatable. It's a really good product, and I do recommend it. I already have another one of these on the go, and I do have another backup in my drawers, so it is something that I will continue using, and I already have repurchased. So I have 2 kind of miscellaneous items before we move into nail polish and makeup. The next one is actually a nail polish remover, so maybe I should put this with the nail polishes, but this is the Boots nail polish remover rapid removal, and this is one of those kind of palm pumps that you can pump it up through here. I probably will reuse this bottle because I already have bought another nail polish remover. I just picked up like the regular one that's in a regular bottle because these are a bit more expensive, and I just thought I can pour that in here to reuse this bottle. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's just a nail polish remover, nothing special, and for me I found that most of them do the job kind of the same. So yeah, I used this one up, and I obviously already purchased more nail polish remover. Then I also have one perfume actually. So this is the Prada La Femme perfume. I purchased this when I was studying in Chicago, so every time I smell this it brings me back to that time. I honestly didn't have too much left of this bottle, just like a tiny bit on the end, so I decided to try to finish it up and get it out of my collection, and I did use it up. It is something that I will miss. I might repurchase this in the future again because it is a lovely scent. I am awful at describing scents, so I won't even try to, but I do recommend this if you're looking for something more kind of classy, but it's not too heavy. It's not musky at all, but it is, I don't know how to describe it, more kind of feminine, kind of sultry, but like I said, not musky. So yeah, it's a nice perfume, and like I said, I might repurchase this in the future, but now I just like smelling it because it brings back so many memories for me. So before we move into the makeup, I have 3 nail polishes that I used up. I go through these more in detail in my Project Polish, but I have 2 from Berry M, 1 orange and 1 pink, and then I have 1 from Bourjois, which is more of a minty color. Next up we have all the makeup products that I've used up this month, and I'm gonna start with the most exciting one. I did use up my MAC Soft and Gentle Skin Finish. And this one, as you can see, is completely empty. It's so satisfying seeing this now done, and it took quite a long time to use up. It is a bit kind of nostalgic for me because I believe this is my first ever highlighter, or it was Albatross from NARS. I can't remember which one, but this was like the first highlighter that I actually fell in love with and actually used on an everyday basis. So I'm really kind of sad to see this go, but I'm also very excited because I had this for such a long time, and I do have quite a few other highlighters that I like more nowadays. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in my back to MAC pile, and I'm happy to have a highlighter out of my collection. Next up we have a bronzer from Bourjois. This is the bronzing primer. This was like a cream bronzer. It says bronzing primer, so I believe you should use it as a primer, but for me it was way too dark to use all over. So what I did is I kind of put this on my bronzing areas, and then I put my foundation on, kind of on other areas, used to make a lighter base in summer. I did actually really enjoy this. I had it for quite a while again, and I didn't use it too much at all before, but I put this in a planning project and I absolutely fell in love with how this looked on my skin. I do have the Chanel Soleil Tan Chanel bronzer as well, and I'm gonna try to work through that, but once I'm done with that bronzer as well, I would definitely consider purchasing another cream bronzer because I did enjoy this so much. I have 1 concealer I finished up over the last quarter. This is my Fit Me concealer, and I believe this is in the shade number 5. It is like a go-to concealer for me. However, I don't really like it as much now as I used to. I'm currently working on another concealer that I purchased, which is the Cover FX Power Play concealer. I do really love that, and I think I prefer it much more to this one. So I might have actually come to a point in my life where I won't repurchase this again. I might feel different in the future, but this used to be something that I would always repurchase, but right now I don't really feel the need to repurchase another one. I have 1 mascara that I used up. This is the Paradise Ecstatic mascara from L'Oreal. I do like this one. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's a go-to still, and I would probably repurchase this in the future, although I am using another one now, which I will talk to in a second because I bought that as a replacement for this earlier in this quarter. So it will go into my new purchases, which you will see in a second, which I think I actually prefer that one more than this one because this is quite a dry mascara, and although the other one was a bit too wet in the beginning, I feel like now when it's dried up a little bit, it's a better mascara than this one. Then the next 2 items are both lip products. I have 1 lipstick and 1 lip gloss. The lipstick is from Revlon and it's one of their lip butters in the shade Tutti Frutti. This was just a bright kind of orange lip shade, as you can see there. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't my favorite, and I used this up mainly as a cream blush. I am happy to have another lipstick out of my collection because I feel like I've been slacking on using up lipstick this year, especially since I've been so into eyeshadows, and I haven't used that many lipsticks, and I mainly reach for nude shades, and I haven't really been that into panning them. And also being at home, I only apply lipstick maybe once a day rather than reapplying throughout the day, which I used to do when I was in an office. But I'm happy to have this one out of my collection over the last quarter. And this is in the shade Weehoo, I think it is. This was just a nude lip gloss and I actually really enjoyed this, which might sound surprising to me because I'm not a massive lip gloss person, but it was a really nice formula, and I'm currently trying to pan another one of these in this shade Finders Keepers, which I'm also really loving. So I wish I would have used these before, because when I put these into, I think it was my Partners in Cream project, I had never reached for either of these before, and I do really love the formula. So I wish I would have reached for these before, but I'm just happy to have them out of my collection. It didn't take too long to use up because it is a deluxe size mini, but yeah, it's a beautiful formula, and if you haven't tried the Colourpop lip glosses, it's probably one of my favorite lip gloss formulas that I have tried so far, granted that I haven't tried too many. So before we move into my declutters, or declutter because I only have one thing, I actually have a few items that I used up when I was at my parents'. So if you didn't know, I went to my parents for 2 weeks earlier this month, or I mean it's September, went into October, but earlier last month I was in Sweden for 2 weeks, and I used up a few things there which I obviously didn't want to grab back because it was just rubbish that was unnecessary to bring back. So I took pictures of everything I used up, and I'm going to insert them up here and talk about them. So the first one is this Kevin Murphy Smooth Again treatment serum, or like kind of leave-in conditioner. It looks like this. It was really good. I've had it for ages, and I just had a tiny bit left which I used up when I went to my parents. It's not something that I would repurchase because it is quite expensive for what it is, and I feel like I've tried other leave-in conditioners that are better, especially for their price. So that is the first one. The second one is another hair treatment. This is the She Silk Confusion. I just had like the mini size, and with this one I definitely wouldn't repurchase this, because knowing more about hair care items now, I know this is basically silicones, and yeah, although it made my hair really smooth and I did like it, I know that it doesn't really have many ingredients in there that are great for my hair. So I wouldn't repurchase this, but I did enjoy it when I used it way back, but nowadays, knowing kind of the effect on it on my hair, I don't love it so much. But it is out of my collection, which is really good, and I'm happy to have another empty. The next one is this battered up moisturizer. So you can see this is the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. This was in the it was like a flavored one. I think it was like a vanilla citron or something, I can't remember. It's completely rubbed off on the packaging, but it was a scented one, and I got this in a packet together with the regular one, and I basically used this face moisturizer. I know this is kind of a really rich moisturizer, but my skin gets really dry in the winter, so I do like using this one. I didn't have very much left again at my parents' house. It's one that I've been keeping there, and I'm happy that I moved it out. It wasn't my favorite. I much prefer the original one, and I have used that up. I recently used that earlier this year, I think, but it is a go-to for me, especially in winter when my skin is a bit more dry. The next one is one of the Ordinary serum. This is the niacinamide serum. I do like this one. I was obsessed with the serum for such a long time, but getting into Korean skincare, I kind of found that I like that kind of product more, because my skin is very dry and dehydrated, and that kind of style of skincare products are very hydrating mainly, and I kind of moved towards those more. But this is a serum that I would recommend. Niacinamide has a lot of benefits for the skin, and it's probably something that I would repurchase in the future, but currently I have quite a lot of things that I want to use up first, but like I said, it's something that I might consider repurchasing in the future. Next up we have another Ordinary serum. This is the lactic acid serum. This is basically a chemical exfoliant. It's another one. Both of these products I kept at my parents' house again, and I just had a tiny bit left of both of them. And with this one, I don't love it as much as I used to do. I have way better kind of chemical exfoliants that I like using more, so I don't think I will purchase this in the future, because nowadays I either use like a daily one like a glycolic acid, or I use the BHA and AHA mask kind of exfoliant from the Ordinary, which I much prefer. So this one I don't think I will purchase again, because it's just something that I don't reach for in my skincare routine now. The next one is the 100% organic cold pressed rosehip seed oil. I do like this one. This is one that I repurchased quite a lot in the past, but I have found other things that I like more when it comes to face serums, so I don't think I will purchase this again. But if you're looking for something that has simple ingredients in it and are quite affordable, I do recommend this one. The next item is just a mini hand cream from L'Occitane. This is the almond scented one. I do really like these ones. I have a few more of the mini hand creams, and I usually put them in my handbag, but obviously not going out too much this year. I haven't used them that much, but I had again one at my parents' house which just had a tiny bit left in it, so I made sure to use that up when I was there, and this is that one. So I do recommend this one, and I absolutely love this scent. It's probably my favorite scent from L'Occitane that I've tried so far, and so I might repurchase this in a full size in the future. Next up we have the Ritual of Sakura nourishing shampoo. So with this one, I don't really like it, to be honest. Again, this is one that I used to get my parents, and I used it when I went there. I had a lot of items there that were very close to be finished up, so I made sure to use up most of them when I was there, especially for 2 weeks. So this one is, like I said, it's not shampoo that I really like. I don't think it cleans my hair very well. It's not very moisturizing, and it's just like a meh shampoo, especially for the price. So I wouldn't repurchase this. I think I got this in a gift set from my friend, and I don't think it would ever be on my radar if I didn't get it in that set. But I'm happy to have used it up and have another shampoo out of my collection. Another product that I wouldn't repurchase is the Kos RX Ultimate Nourishing Rice Overnight Spa Mask. This is supposed to be like moisturizer that you put on overnight, but for me, I feel like this was way too kind of lightweight for me. It didn't really moisturize enough. It's very, very watery, and I think this would be perfect for someone who has oily skin, but for me who has very dry skin, it didn't do enough for me. So I'm happy to have moved this out because it took forever, because I felt like I had to layer this with other moisturizers, and I'm just happy, like I said, to have it out on my collection. The very last empty that I had at my parents' house is this one, which is the La Roche-Posay Effaclar H Derma Soothing Hydrating Cleansing Cream. So it's just a cleanser. It's a second cleanser for me. It definitely doesn't remove makeup. I do like this one. It's very moisturizing, and I feel like this one would be something that I potentially would repurchase in the future. Although with my second cleanse, I'm not too fussed with which product I use, as long as it does the job and doesn't dry out my skin. I use basically whatever I have or what's on offer. So I would purchase this again, but it's a bit more expensive, so I think I would have other options that I would reach for first. So those were all of my empties, and let's just go through my only declutter this month before moving into the purchases. I know I keep saying month, I think, in this video, but I mean obviously quarter. That is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Foundation in white. This is one foundation that I kept in my collection because it is white and I can lighten up darker foundations with it. I have been trying to use up a dark foundation, which I was hoping to have in this video today, but I didn't quite get there. It will definitely be in my next quarterly empties video, but I use this to kind of mix in because that is definitely too dark for me right now, and I was trying to make it lighter with this one. I did that one day, and next day I instantly had new whiteheads all over my face, and I know this breaks me out, but I just wanted to give it a second try, or fifth try. I've used this a lot of times, but I just wanted to give it another try, and yeah, it did the same thing again, and I just felt like, why would I keep it when it just breaks me out? It's something that I don't reach for because of that. And I have foundations that are light enough to use as mixer foundations, and although they're not white, so I just decided to get rid of the foundation because it just doesn't work for me. So moving on to the last part of this video, which is my purchases. So if you watched my last quarterly update, you know that I changed my rules a little bit, because before I wanted to use up 5 products before bringing another one in, but I felt like that didn't work for me, especially now when I'm getting to a point in my collection where I have a lot of categories under control. So I used to kind of put on a spending cap instead, and I said each month I can spend £50 on makeup, and if I don't use those £50, it kind of rolls on to next month. So let's start off with July, where I had £50 to spend. I only purchased 2 items, which I have right here. These were from my last Yes Style order, and I picked up the MQNY, I think it's called, waterproof eyeliner pen in deep brown. So this is just a brown liquid eyeliner. I don't have any brown liquid eyeliner, so I wanted to pick one up, and this was really, really affordable, and I just wanted to try it out and see how much I use it before investing in a more expensive one. And this one cost me £4.31, so not too bad at all. And then the second one I picked up is the Innisfree Skinny Microcara in Zero, and this is a waterproof mascara with a really, really skinny wand. I haven't tried this out yet, but I purchased this mainly to use on my bottom lashes and just try out that way. Also maybe to try on my top lashes. This one I purchased for $6.64. So in total in July I spent £10.95. So for August I started with a budget of £89.05 since some of my money for July rolled over, and I did purchase 3 things in August, which are all from Maybelline. They had an offer at Boots for 3 for 2 on Maybelline, so I picked up some new stuff. I did pick up 2 mascaras, one that I'm currently using and one backup. So I'm gonna always use the one that I'm currently using. So this is a mascara I talked about before, and this is the Falsies Lash Lift Waterproof Mascara. The one looks like this, and I'm actually really loving this mascara. It is quite good, and like I said before, it was quite kind of wet when I first started using it, but I used in combination with my old mascara, which I have used up, and kind of used it that way, because I feel like sometimes when my mascara is too wet it makes my eyelashes fall straight. But now it works perfectly, and I really like the effect of the mascara. You can see it on my lashes today. So I did pick up 2 of them because I always try to pick up some backup mascaras when they have them on offers. So since they were on offer, they ended up being $7.61 combined, so not too bad at all, and I'm happy to have a backup mascara now in my collection. So the third item I picked up on my 3 for 2 was the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Light Coverage. I think it's a foundation, but anyway, this is an SPF 50 foundation product, and I picked it up in the shade Warm Ivory. I really love this foundation. I've used it a few times already, and it's beautiful on the skin. It's probably one of my favorite foundations now, especially from the dark store, and I'm really happy that I picked this up. The color match is perfect for me, and I think it's like a nice winter match for me, but in summer I did mix it with the dark foundations, like maybe with 1 or 2 drops of that. But the undertone is perfect, and I do really love this one, so I'm happy that I did pick this up. And that foundation ended up being £8.37. So in total in August I only spent £15.98, which meant that quite a lot of money again rolled over to September. So when September started I had £123.07, which obviously is a combination of all 3 months combined. But I did pick up 2 things in the month of September, so last month, and I made that in the same order. The main thing that I picked up in the last quarter is this one right here, which is the Naked Tutorials and Beauty Bay palette. I made a 1 week 1 palette video with this palette, so I won't talk about it too much in this video, but I really love this palette from what I've used so far, and this palette ended up being £25. In that same order, I also picked up one of the Nabla Skin Glazing powders, or glow powders, in the shade Independence. This is like a blush, and it looks like this. It's absolutely stunning, and I really love this. I haven't used it too much yet because I was planning, or I had my shop mustache quite a similar blush, which is Rockateur from Benefit, but it's something that I want to reach for more, and I think this is going to be a beautiful blush in autumn as well as summer. It was a really kind of nice blush in the end of summer as well, but I really love this so far, and this formula is beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite blush formulas that I've tried recently, and this ended up being £20. So in the month of September I ended up spending £45, which means that now when October began I had £178.07 to spend. So that's everything that I did pick up in the last quarter. I do have a bonus product too, which I actually purchased back in June, so in the quarter before last, but I did get it actually yesterday, so it's technically something that I did get in October, but I just want to show it in this video because I'm filming this on the 3rd of October, and since I bought it way back in June, I just thought I would include it now. I am doing an unboxing of these products on my channel, which will go up later this month, but I did pick up some Clionadh shadows, which are right here. This is a little sneak peek. I am very in love with them, and I'm actually wearing one of the iridescent shades on my lids today, so that is the kind of shimmery shade you can see, and I'm in love with these so much already, and I'm very happy to have them in my collection. I didn't want to include them in the budget because I did purchase these before I had the budget, and when I did purchase them I didn't kind of include them yet because I didn't have them, and since I switched up the whole system I never really got them to count for any of my 2 systems, which is a bit unfortunate, but this was just a treat for myself, and I haven't really picked up anything like this in a long time, and I know that I spent quite a lot of money picking these up, but I will treasure them so much in my collection, and with my budget being only £50 a month now, I feel like I could treat myself with this because I don't think I'm gonna overspend in the rest of the year anyway. So that guys was all for this quarterly update. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you have used up this month, if you have used up anything kind of extraordinary. Like, I used up the MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter. That is quite an achievement in my opinion. Also let me know what is your favorite thing that you picked up over the last quarter, and otherwise I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.